Hey everybody, welcome, and thank you for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. My name is Zach. I'm here with Laura. This is one of those episodes that we recorded in order for me to say things that I say in my office all the time. Couples come in and they want to talk about resolving arguments. As you know, I'll say repair is more important than resolve. Repair is more important than resolve. Repair is more important than resolve. And then we ended up talking about what does that actually look like? And so today we're talking about kind of the art of an apology. And I think there is an art to apologizing. I think there's also an art to receiving an apology. We talk about both of those things here. I'll let you know in advance that Rebecca and I are fine. We are back on the saddle after what was a couple of rough days here before we recorded this episode. But, you know, that's how it goes. There's ebbs and flows. I also want to say thank you so much for continuing to offer reviews on Apple Podcasts. We're up to 598. So how about this? In the spirit of small things often, how about just two of you get us over the hump to 600? We still need to get to 1,000, but you know, baby steps and all that. I want to remind you again about the upcoming workshops. I think this is the last opportunity to register for Laura's weekly series. We have ours coming up in October. You can find more about that on marriagetherapyradio.com. But for now, let's get the ball rolling. This is us talking about the art of apology, how to do that well, how to receive it well. This is a very cool conversation. Stick around.
What's new in your life? Let's talk about you.
What's new in my life? Well, I'm going to Ireland real soon.
Mm-hmm. When do you leave?
We leave in like a month. We leave in like 30 days.
That's not real soon.
Yeah, it is.
I leave for Tuscany in a week.
We've been planning it for 3 years.
Oh, that's right. And you're going for how long? 2 weeks?
Like 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
it's going to be an adventure. Like we really haven't spent that much time together alone since before we had kids. I mean, it's been 20 years since the two of us. I mean, 2 weeks is a long time, period. But B, it's just not been a thing that we have really prioritized getting away by ourselves. So this has been a long time in the making.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to go last year and then we didn't. We postponed it to this year. And so, yeah, like in a month, I'm going to go drive around Ireland and see stuff. And
just Ireland? Are you
just Ireland? Yeah, we're going in and out of Dublin. We're not going to Northern Ireland. We're just we're doing like a big counterclockwise loop. I don't know if anybody knows Ireland, but sort of drive west across the northern part of Ireland, which is just south of the southern part of Northern Ireland, which is a whole totally different country. And then we're coming down around the bottom and then back up. I mean, literally like just kind of the outside of this country.
So I know this isn't necessarily what we wanted to talk about, but I do have some questions because I'm also embarking on a week-long adventure with my husband. We're leaving. We haven't been away from Holden for 2 years. And we're going to Tuscany for my BFF's 50th birthday. Nice. And so when I prepare for trips like this, you taught me this, which is asking yourself on the airplane or, in the car on your way to an adventure, what's the story you want to tell when you get back? When people say, hey, how was your trip? And then you can manufacture and sort of manifest, if you will, the type of adventure, sort of planning ahead. Like if you say, I wanted to relax, or we had tons of really like amazing sex, or we like had the greatest conversations that we planned out our retirement. So what's the story you want to tell when you come back and I say, how was Scotland? Clearly a good listener today. Yeah, it's actually a really good question. I really appreciate the question. But honestly, I don't really know. I think I've started actually talking about it in therapy. Like, what am I going to do alone with my wife for 2 weeks? How are we going to make sure to fill the time? Are we going to like have the right kind of conversations? Are we going to do the right kind of activities? Are we going to have lots of sex? Are we going to have, are we going to be in touch with our family at home? I don't know, man. And I think I've got about a month to figure it out because, I think it's going to be really great. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm actually really, really kind of curious to see what it is. And I guess I'm trying also to have a little bit of the, I'm a world traveler now, kind of like I'm an expert somehow. He's been to Germany and Korea on business trips.
Well, yeah, but that's pretty transformative, to have your first trip, to have it be so on the heels like that. Like, I think it'll probably be what I write my Christmas letter about, to be honest.
Oh man, I can't wait to get your Christmas letter. Can't wait. Front and back, 8 by 10.
8.5 by 11. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no, so I don't know, dude. I think we've got a long way to come. We're also in like in a little bit of a fight right now. So thinking about all the fun things I want to do with her in a month, I'm still trying to figure out how to get through the afternoon. So, yeah, it's weird. You got to kind of hold those two things in parallel.
Yeah.
But
I'm thinking about, like my trip to Tuscany, the things that I think about, like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm going to read really good books because I rarely have the opportunity to read.
Are you going to read books like nonfiction books, or are you going to read like still
I've been diving
books?
into fiction. And in fact, I'm looking for recommendations. So for those of you listeners who have read good books, I do not want your 4 stars. I want your 5-star books. I don't want to trudge through like your semi-good ones.
I got one for you. It's easy peasy. Hold on. Amazon.
I have to tell you the 3 books so far that I have gotten into in just the last week. So I finished... Oh, shoot. I completely forgot the name of it. Oh, Every Summer After. So that's like a good little story. It's like a coming of age.
Are you still reading your sexy beach read novel books?
Yeah. Oh, that one was so hot.
These count as 5 stars, or are they like, is this what you'd mean
when
you
say
you want
a 5-star book for me? Like the love story was great. It's just light. Like I need so much lightness right now in my life. This is something else that I think about with it when it comes to travel is like you and Rebecca might be in very different places. And so what you're looking to get out of your experience in Scotland, like you might be looking for like connection with your wife, whereas she might be looking for novelty and she might be looking for maybe a little bit of risk and adventure. So I think it's important when you embark on these journeys to discuss like what's the thing that you need individually, but also what's the thing that you as a couple are chasing. Otherwise, you're going to go on a vacation. You're going to have 2 very parallel experiences. And I think that those are important. And in fact, I did an entire session. This was kind of interesting. Session. There we go. There's the whistle. Session. I had the old man whistle through the teeth for a second. Where all we did was talked about how they could negotiate their future travels because they travel very differently. Like she loves to stack things and have things scheduled, and she loves to make sure that she can, do as much as she possibly can. He loves just sort of like the wander and the randomness and like the adventures that you just sort of happen upon, which very different styles of travel. And so we had to do an entire session and then I think even a follow-up session to figure out how can we make sure that it's going to be the best for the 2 of them. Yeah. They'd never traveled internationally together. Are you looking at beach reads? Okay.
No, I found the book for you. And I think I would recommend this book 100% of the time to people who are interested in like, I just want a book that's going to be, that's going to stimulate my brain, be interesting to read, decent plot.
Does it have good sex scenes?
No, I don't think it does. But it's called The Midnight Library.
Oh, yeah. No, you told me about that. Midnight Library. Okay.
Yeah, Midnight Library is an easy little 5-star vacation read that you can enjoy, and it'll make you think, and you'll be wondering what's going to happen next. But it's not it's not gratuitous or anything. So it's by a guy named Matt Haig, awesome. Haig. Yeah,
I've got that. Okay, so I've got that. Hannah, what's her name? Something Hannah. She wrote like the Crawdads. It was a big read.
Oh, yeah.
Where like the women Pelotoners were all raving about it. But I'm reading The Great Alone, I want to say it's called, about, I think it's in the 70s and this family that moves up to Alaska and they're just sort of out in the wilderness. I'm just trying to make it through. So I'm reading that. And then I'm also reading The People You Meet on Vacation, something like that. Just really easy reads.
The other thing I would recommend, and I'm actually trying to do this, is read a book that's set in Tuscany.
Yeah. I did that when I went to Iceland. There was this book, I think it's called Burial Rites, and it was a slow read, but it was really interesting to be driving around. Do you have a book for Scotland that you're going to read?
I'm going to Ireland.
You said Ireland, and immediately I thought of Scotland and how cool it would be to go and do the whole golf Scotland thing. And so now you're going to Scotland in my head.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're going to Ireland.
My buddy recommended a book about Ireland and golf, actually, about this guy who went around finding all he played like all the golf courses in Ireland, and he ended up writing a novel about it. But I'm actually going to be reading a book called Round Ireland with a Fridge. And so it's about these guys who they just drive around Ireland, literally around it, kind of the same drive we're doing with a refrigerator, trying to, I don't know, make the refrigerator a story. So that's
It's random.
Yeah, I know. I know it's random, but I'm excited about it.
If you can remember the Scotland book about golf, that would be a neat one to get my husband.
Yeah, I'm not going to read that one. Oh, you mean the Ireland book about golf that my buddy recommended, or the thing that you keep thinking about, which is totally disconnected from my trip?
I guess it's the Ireland book. I'm not tracking the ADHD. So you said that your clients came in and they said, hey, just question, is Laura getting crazier?
Yeah, I had some clients come in the other day, and they really wanted to talk about their stuff. But before they wanted to talk about their stuff, they said, before we start, can we ask you a question? I go, yeah. I said, is Laura getting like crazier? And I said, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. And I think it's just that you're
I'm in a season.
You're living more life. Yeah.
Living more life. If that means that life is getting infinitely more complex. Yeah. I'm not even joking in that I spent about an hour yesterday with a pile like this thick, probably about 1.5 inches thick of just bills, hospital bills. And I just was like, I'm not sure when the deductible is going to get hit and when these bills are going to come. And they're like $5, $20. But I can tell you that I plan on riding my bicycle for the next year. Because
you can't afford gas. Yeah.
So yes, I am getting nutty. I'm getting crazier. And if that means I'm just living more life, then let's go ahead and say that, Zach.
Anyway, I'll look forward to talking about our trips when we get back. When are you going?
I leave in a week. You wanted to talk about apologizing. Why?
I did.
Is it because you need to figure out how to apologize to your wife for something stupid that you did?
I don't know which one of us did something stupid, but I know right now we're both pretty well dug in. And that is frustrating. But yeah, I'll talk about apologizing. I had a client, I do this. I talk about this a lot in my sessions. People go like, how do you apologize? And I was like, go back and listen to episode 3 of Marriage Therapy Radio. It's like, I'm almost afraid to go listen to it. I think we probably recorded it in my house. Remember those first couple episodes, we were just testing everything, and we were like in the front room, and Jason was in the room with us, and
just
we were
testing to make sure.
Yeah. Is this how it works? And how are we going to do that? But anyway, the third episode we did was called How to Apologize. And I kind of want to revisit that. I don't know, just because we're in new skin, new brains, and we got new microphones. So
before we get there, can I ask you a question? Because I can't remember if I mentioned this to my clients or if I actually said it on the podcast. This phrase, because you said, I don't know if I need to apologize. I don't know if she needs to apologize. And I had a client that actually said this to me, and I asked him for permission. I said, can I use this on the podcast? So he said yes, which was wonderful. But it was all about de-escalating and trying to figure out where the two of you went wrong. So if you notice like there's tension between you and your partner and you're kind of unsure, like what's going on here? I don't understand where this is coming from. He is a prison guard. Have I told you about this?
No.
Oh, okay. So he's a prison guard. And so all he does all day long is work on de-escalation.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
And he said, my dad taught me this phrase. And the phrase is that if he notices that something's going on and he's unclear as to what happened, he says, have I disrespected you in some way? And that works really well with the I don't think they call them inmates. There's another terminology that he used that I think is a little more guests. Yes, he used that with his guests. Have I disrespected you or misunderstood you in some way? Is the phrase that he uses. And I was like, that is flippin' brilliant, because especially using the word disrespect, I don't hear very many women come to me and say, I'm really angry because I feel disrespected. But I hear that so much from men. And since most of his, I think all of his guests are men, he says disrespect you. But I also really like that he throws in the misunderstood you in some way. So if you are unclear with you or Rebecca, I would say, well, Zach, maybe you should go to Rebecca and say, have I misunderstood you or disrespected you in some way? Because I would love to be able to fix that.
Yeah, I'm not ready to do that.
Okay.
And I definitely did not have access to that last night when it happened. The thing about last night is it happened like in the whole fight was maybe 12 seconds. Like we both flooded so fast. And I think I definitely disrespected her and misunderstood her. And I also know that she disrespected me and misunderstood me. And so now the question is, how do you break that stalemate, right? Like it's really, it's like it's pretty frustrating.
Well, you're not flooded right now.
No, but I'm busy.
No, I don't think you are.
And I'm planning to be busy for most of the afternoon, at least until she leaves.
And this, folks, is why you should trust us, because we've got all the answers, but sometimes we have a hard time putting it into place.
No, the reason you should trust us is because this is real stuff that we're really working out in real time. Like I tell my clients all the time, I'll be in my office and I'll be like, well, why didn't you try this? Why didn't you try that? And how about this? And here's empathy. And here's what empathy looks like. And here's what you could have said.
Sure.
And I'm like, you guys, hold on one second. Just so we know, this is my job. Like I'm really, really good at that. I'm really, really good. I'm a professional empathizer in this room. In this
100%, right?
Yeah. I leave this room and I'm one of you. I'm one of everybody, you know?
Yeah.
So
totally.
No, but I'm happy to talk about apologizing because I think it's actually a skill that people oughta, actually what I say is I think there's an art to apologizing.
Okay.
And I want people to be artists, you know, or I want people to think creatively or think artistically about how to do relationship. Because it's not always skill. And the art for me is got about 2-3 parts. Number one is I often disabuse people of saying the words, I'm sorry. I really don't.
Can you explain to me what the word disabuse means? Because it's not one that I hear very often, and I want to make sure I'm clear on what that means.
It means I discourage them from using it. I say, if you have this notion in your head, I want to disabuse you of that notion. I want to take that notion away from you. I want you to not use it. And listen, for some people, those 2 words, I'm sorry, are very important. They're a very critical part of any apology. But I start this conversation by removing it as a requirement because of 3 things. Number one is, if you think about the words, I'm sorry, and if I'm just saying it like in my life, what is most often the very next word that will come out of my mouth? I'm sorry. Next word. Well, 4, that'd be great.
Because?
Well, it's but.
That's out of your mouth.
Well, I think it's out of, I think it's a very common, I'll ask the clients this and they'll go, but. They'll go, oh, well, he'll say, I'm sorry, but. And then here's the deal. But, the word but exists to diminish whatever came before it.
100%.
So that's its purpose in grammar, is to make the phrase that comes before but less important than the phrase that comes after but. I really like what you said, like I'm sorry for, or I'm sorry that. Those things take ownership, but actually relieves yourself of ownership and says the thing I'm about to say is actually more important. I'm sorry, but you went first, or I'm sorry, but I didn't mean it, or I'm sorry, but even if you think about that, I didn't mean it, but I'm sorry, flips it over, right? Like you just have to, I think you have to put it in the proper place. I think you can even use and. I'm sorry, and I didn't mean it, you know? So let me finish this, and I don't want to hear what you have to say. Then the other thing about I'm sorry that I really don't like is often when people say I'm sorry, they have to grapple with the notion that they're wrong.
Yes.
I'm sorry equals I'm wrong. And I don't think apologizing has to mean that you're wrong.
Right.
And I don't think you have to be wrong to apologize. I think you can apologize even if you weren't wrong, because something disrupted the relationality. Something disrupted the ability to be in like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a peaceful relationship or whatever. Something broke it. It doesn't mean it was wrong. It just means it was broken.
I think of an apology, like you said, I use this when I explain validating, that an apology and validating for me are very similar in that it's simply acknowledging that somebody else is having an experience and you're acknowledging their experience.
Yeah.
I think of that as validating as well. To validate somebody else's experience costs you nothing.
Right.
To apologize for someone else's experience costs you nothing. So,
well, and though people don't want to hear, I'm sorry that you're hurt. I'm sorry that hurt you. I'm sorry that I'm sorry
that you took offense to what I said.
Right. So let me click this last one and then let's talk about validation. The last thing I don't like about the word sorry is if you think about things that are actually sorry, flowers that haven't been watered on your table for a week or two, or dogs that are shivering out on the front porch, like they're pathetic, right? And sorry, I don't know. So I want people to, if they're going to use that phrase or that word, I want them to really know what they're saying,
Okay.
Not I'm wrong, not I'm pathetic, and not but something else, but actually own what they mean. And that's where this next part comes in about the sort of the art, which includes validation for sure. What did you tell me a little bit earlier? You saw a sign or a phrase or something?
I think I was listening to, maybe I was you know what it was? I was listening to my book, The Great Alone. And they referenced, I think it's a song lyric, and it was, let's see here, love is never having to say you're sorry, something like that. Which I had a moment of pause, and I don't do that very often. Like, I am pretty numb when I'm listening to books or watching a show or whatever. Like, things don't strike me, but that one stuck with me. And I was like, that could not be any further. You're the English guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess they both were. I like that you say rather than go to the
rather than rather.
Yeah.
Rather. Yeah.
But love means never having to say I'm sorry. And you were like, nope, that's not how it works.
No, that couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yeah.
Can I say something that's been on my mind because this came up?
I think it's actually further from the truth.
Further from the truth?
It's not
One
farther
has to do with distance.
Father. It's further from the truth. Yeah.
I know my expertise, and it is not the English language, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
So you started talking about, I'm sorry, but, and talking about how it's important to follow up with maybe an and, I'm sorry, and, but making sure that you are not discounting.
Well, I don't even really like I'm sorry, but if it's going to be a word that comes next,
right,
it ought to be
it better
and or
be
for.
something other than but.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about I'm sorry for, because I was having clients validate each other this week. And what they kept saying was, I hear you. I understand you. I hear you. And I paused and I was like, what do you hear? Like, if somebody said to me, I hear you, I understand you, I need to know that what do you understand? Or if somebody comes to me and says, I'm sorry, I'll say, what are you sorry for? Like, I need to hear the words explicitly clear. So I made him pause and I said, what do you hear coming out of your partner's mouth? What do you understand is their experience? What are you sorry for? What are you acknowledging that your partner is experiencing if this is an apology? What are you acknowledging that your partner is experiencing, or what are you taking responsibility for? I acknowledge that you're hurt. I take responsibility for being or contributing to that pain. Whether it was intentional or not, I contributed to that experience that you're having.
Yeah. And so, yes, exactly. 100%. And I always label this with like sort of 3 letters, REC. And the first one is exactly what you're describing. Recognition. The thing that you're describing that hurt you, it actually happened.
Yeah.
The thing that you're saying is troubling, like that, like, yes, that's true. You might even add, I did it. Like, sort of like, yeah, I did that. That thing that you're describing, I did that. Because, there's the idea of gaslighting gets a lot of fuel these days. Oh, that was an accident at gaslighting and fuel, but like, it's a lot of energy this way, but it's literally like this idea that your reality isn't real. The thing you're describing didn't happen. And I'm saying, nope, do the opposite. Just recognize that the thing that the person is upset about, it actually happened. That's like that's part 1. Yeah. I raised my voice at you. Yeah. And I said a name and I got upset too fast, or I didn't get home on time. And yes, you're right. I did say that I was going to be here at 6 and I got here at 6:30, or I totally did forget to take the garbage out or whatever it was, yeah, that's number one. I think the number two is the thing that you're describing as validation. The word I've used is empathize. So validate or empathize, which is to go and I'm sure that was upsetting. I know for a fact that if it happened to me, I'd be upset. If you said you were going to be here at 6 and you got here at 6:30, I know that would bother me, especially if you didn't call. Just sort of recognize that the feeling that the person is having because of the thing that happened, you get it. That's reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. What if it's not reasonable? Here's the thing that a lot of people get stuck on. Well, I mean, the piece that a lot of folks get stuck on, especially I will say if it's gendered, is a lot of times the man will say, I'm having a hard time empathizing with my wife because she overreacts. And man, there is nothing that will get under my skin more than the phrase overreacts, because it's placing judgment, or like that your partner should be within some sort of, I don't know, I'm holding my hands like some kind of a barrier. Like these are acceptable emotions given what's going on, right? Like it's unacceptable that you would get upset to that degree. And so the whole terminology of overreacting pisses me off like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I think though that we did an episode a little while ago about feelings, I guess, but I thought that episode was called Laura Heck in Therapy While She Weeps, and we record it. Yeah. I think you can empathize with what somebody's feeling without empathizing with how they reacted to those feelings. Okay. I think it's seems like you were really upset. I would be upset. I get upset too. I don't get upset and overreact or lose my temper or throw things or pout, but I can understand that that's upsetting. Yeah. And even if you have to raise the ceiling a little bit and like be a little less specific, I know that when I have an expectation that doesn't get met, I get sad too. It doesn't have to be like, I know when you don't take the garbage out exactly when you say you are, I also flip my lid. Yeah. You don't have to empathize with the actual like sort of reaction as much as just say, I get it. And presumably, your partner well enough to know that like, I get why you would react that way. This is the thing that you've been saying a million times, or your dad never took out the garbage, or, your ex-boyfriend cheated on you. And so every time I'm late by half an hour, I get it. Yeah. That doesn't mean you're unfaithful. It just means that you're aware enough of what's going on inside your partner that you can give them a little bit of grace. That's where I pause a lot of times with clients, and I'll say something like, hey, you know your partner a lot better than I do. But I love that phrase. Given what you know about your partner and what they're describing, like, how do you feel, or what do you think your partner's probably experiencing or feeling, given what you know about them? Yeah. And they can tap into so many assumptions of what they know about their partner and then I say, cool. Now, how do you think like they're responding to that? Well, of course they would be upset. They've been working really hard on this, and it makes a lot of sense that they'd be upset about it. I'm like, great, lead with that, empathize with that. I just think empathy can sometimes be really hard when people start to try and tap into how they would respond to something or how they would react. And I'm like, no. It's being able to say, that makes sense to me that you would have that experience given your history in the way that you go through this world. It's not your turn yet to talk about how you're feeling. You're still apologizing. Okay, so I don't want to get too lost because I've interjected a lot, and I know you're trying to teach REC. Okay. No. Recognition is R, and that's just recognizing that the thing happened. It happened. Yeah. Okay. Information. I understand what you're describing. Yeah, I did come home late. I was there. Yeah. Yeah. And that, again, I haven't fallen on my sword and said, I totally did let you down. Yeah, I totally did fail by coming home a half an hour late. Yeah. You just say, I did. I came home a half an hour late. And that I didn't pick up the phone when you called. Yeah. Okay. I did go to bed without kissing you. So I didn't say I'm wrong. I didn't say I'm pathetic. I said the thing that you're describing, it happened. It did happen. Got it. And I have empathy for that, because I know, even if you have to raise the altitude and go, I know that when I think you're going to be here, I know when people tell me one thing and they do something else, that puts me off balance. Mm-hmm. Or rather than talking about yourself, I would say, I know that it hurts your feelings. Yeah. I know that your feelings get hurt. I know that you feel lonely when you don't have physical connection before you go to bed. Totally. And, I did go to bed and I didn't kiss you goodnight. Or I know that when
I don't pick up the phone, you are really disappointed, or you feel really lonely, or you feel rejected. I know that that's an experience that you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last one, C, is some commitment to change.
Got it.
Like, I don't want you to feel that way, or I'm going to do better in the future with my setting my alarm to leave on time, or I'm going to try and remember to kiss you goodnight, or just some articulation, some sort of accountability or commitment to changing behavior. Because another complaint I hear a lot about apologies is, he apologizes, but nothing ever changes. Mm-hmm. So you got to put yourself on the hook and say, yep, that's a thing I'm going to work on. Yes, you can count on me to do that. Yes, I can. I'm going to try and do better in the future.
Ooh, okay. Again, I'm going to go back to this. Be specific. This is something that happened with my husband and I when we first met. He was great. He's always been great at apologizing, but he would always end with, I can do better, or I'll do better next time. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm like, be specific, because those empty promises, just flat phrases, platitudes, is that what they call them? I don't know.
Good job.
Oh, thank you. I also learned that from a book this week. It's the platitude of people when people say, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm like, and again, like another just empty, flat statement that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But I would say, be specific. If you say, I'll do better, how will you do better? What specifically will you be working on? Or I'll work on that. What are you going to work on? How are you going to work on it? Just be more specific.
Okay.
All right.
So I think if you do that, if you recognize, empathize, and commit, you can apologize really well without ever saying, I'm sorry, without ever being wrong, without ever being pathetic, without having to do your thing first. I'm sorry, but, and if those two words come in there, I'm sorry, great, but don't have an apology that is absent those three things: recognition, empathy, and commitment. Yeah. So that's my main thing. And then incidentally, I also think there's an art to receiving an apology. And this is a little faster, and it's really simple. There's two parts. Somebody apologizes to you in whatever context. Part one is very, very easy. Do you know what it is? Thank you.
Yep. I know this because you have received my apologies before in just this way. Thank you for saying that. And
thank you. I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me. I know that cost. I know that was an effort. I know that you listened to the podcast and you did that. It means thank you. Thank you. Part two can be A or B. 2A could be, no problem. Water under the bridge. I forgive you. Let's go get some ice cream.
It's the reconnection piece, right? Yeah.
This is over. We're done. It's good.
Yep.
2B could be, thank you. I still need time. Yeah. I still need to see the change happen. I still need you to understand this part. All of that is you still get to ask for what you need, but within the context of gratitude and intention to repair, right? We've talked a lot of times about how repair attempts, like the failure of repair attempts, is really problematic. Mm-hmm. So partners who are receiving an apology, they also have a responsibility, which is to accept it, maybe forgive, but if they're not ready to forgive or forget at the moment, go ahead and name the thing that you need in a gentle way. Don't say, "Oh, I'm sorry." Well, fine. Thank you for saying that, but I still need you to take out the garbage. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, what do you yet still need to get back to point A, which is, we're good. This is over. Thank you so much. Like, I think that we're, whatever. Yeah. So, I like that. I like that it's not just a thank you for the apology, and then I'm going to go back to stonewalling now. But it's like, here's what I actually need. Here, I might need a little bit of time to process this, or I might need this next step in order for you to commit to change, or maybe I need to feel some physical connection. I like the words are great, but now I need the physical connection. I might need to like have a good snuggle with you, or whatever it might be. Yeah, but I like that. The thing that I'm most likely to say, Zach, is I just need some more time. Like I need time. I'll be fine. I'll get over myself. Right. But I need time. Thank you for saying that. And now just leave me alone. And when I come back, I'll be good. And that's just what I know about myself and what I know about the kind of the way I process apology is I'm pretty quick. I'll be like, yeah, no problem. But the reality is I do need time. Yeah, absolutely.
So will you do me a favor and will you just test this out with Rebecca when you are ready to be the bigger man?
No, I won't.
And say, have I disrespected you or misunderstood you in some way?
I'm going to wait her out. Sorry, I'm taking off my podcast expert hat and putting back on I'm still really like pretty angry hat.
Man, that's the thing is like how many people wait until they're no longer angry to then try and repair with their partner? And this is where I see a lot of tension.
Let me be really honest right now. If I got off this call with you and I went over to where she is and started to try and have the conversation, I'm probably still flooded enough that I would screw it up.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
You just spent an entire 35 minutes saying a lot of very logical, smart things to me, which makes me think that you are not flooded. I think I'm just really,
really good at wearing different hats. You're really good at compartmentalizing.
But I will say that you still can have a great conversation with your partner when you're not flooded, right? Like, so step one, if you're flooded, which by the way, I'm telling you all, Zach is not flooded. We know he's not flooded because his heart rate's not at 100 beats per minute.
You don't know that.
He's using his prefrontal cortex. I know this about you. I've seen you flooded and you are not flooded right now. But you don't have to wait until you're no longer angry. Anger is okay, and you can still be angry and have an apologetic conversation, an understanding conversation. You can initiate repair even when you're angry. But I think that a lot of people wait it out and they wait until they're no longer angry because it's a scary emotion. But I'm telling you that you can be angry and have a kind, gentle conversation with your partner.
I promise to repair before I go to Ireland.
Okay.
So I have like a month.
1 month for you to sit and stew.
No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We both just need to cool off. I think we both brought too much of our own like extraneous stuff into that moment. It was late. It was like 11 o'clock, 11:30.
My clients would come in and they would say 12 seconds blew up the next 48 hours of our lives. Oh yeah.
No. That's where we're at. Like,
and there is not,
we'll find our way back. But yeah, it was about 12 seconds.
Yeah. I tell you yesterday when I was like, hey, you'd be so proud of me. Oh, podcast listeners, by the way, you'd be so proud of me. I had a solid weep and like I let it out and all I could hear was Zach being like, and by the way, like my eye is twitching like crazy. This has been a thing in like the last few months, but I was sobbing and I was thinking about you. But I also was thinking about how you just like life is precious. And Zach, you may not have 48 hours to just sit and stew.
Oh,
so get over it and repair with your wife faster.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, let's land this plane. I got to go fix an eyeball here.
Right on. Yeah. Hey, that workshop's looking pretty cool. Thank you for that. We're looking forward to hanging out with you guys. I think you probably have already started your workshop by the time this episode comes out.
Oh, yeah.
But we're still on the hunt for 5-star reviews. If you haven't done that, I'm going to keep telling you. We got about 70 or 80 since we started. Yeah. So you guys are doing good and I appreciate it, but we still have a long way to go. So go over to Apple Podcasts, take care of that. And marriagetherapyradio.com.
Scared to read them. Should I read them?
No, they're all positive. They're all great.
All positive?
People are, well, one lady I think accidentally hit 4 stars and then she wrote like the most amazing thing. So I forgive her, but yeah, no, we appreciate you. And, yeah, we'll land this plane and we'll talk to you next week. We got a bunch of cool interviews coming up, so that'll help us get through the many travels of Zach and Laura.
Many travels of Zach and Laura.
Okay, goodbye.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. The fall series starts on September 13th. That's on Wednesday evenings for you and your partner to join me for about 75 minutes. We will go through one of the 7 principles every week. It's an opportunity to dig in. If maybe you don't have an entire weekend that you can dedicate to Zach and Laura, we can do it once a week over the fall. We also have space still available in our fall intensive. That's October 20th and 21st. You can find information about that by going to our website, marriagetherapyradio.com, and clicking at the top, it says workshops. Register early so we can get your materials out to you nice and early, and also to secure your seat because we will cut registration off if we fill up. So thanks so much for all of your time and attention, making your relationship better today than it was yesterday.